Hey, my name's John. I'm the owner here at Shoreline Music, coming to you as always, well, in the past, you've heard me say, coming to you as always from Durango, Colorado. But I haven't been in Durango, Colorado for quite some time, several years at this point. Many of you have asked, where have I been? Well, I've been right here. Several years ago, I moved to the coast of Maine, and I have been here living my best life. I spend a ton of time outdoors. I'm climbing mountains and kayaking and hanging out with friends and making music with people that I meet. I have an amazing home, a great spot here, and I have a new wife. Like, everything is going better than I could ever hoped. And through it all, Shoreline has endured. Like, I've been shipping great music gear and instruments to people, great folks, our customers all around the world. And so Shoreline endures. I'm here having a great time, but I do acknowledge that it has been quite some time since I posted a video. I want to guess it's 5 years, maybe even 6 years. So one of the reasons was when we left our shop in Durango, which was years ago, I didn't really have anywhere to shoot. I didn't have, that lovely shop with the great acoustics and everything else. I just didn't have anywhere to shoot stuff. And so it's been kind of in limbo for quite some time. And just recently, I decided to take this cottage on my property and totally redo it. So I've spent the last several weeks sanding and refinishing the knotty pine in here, and I've set up, I think it's a pretty cool little studio. This will be the location of all subsequent demo videos and product pictures and everything else. And when the weather's right, I can look out over the lower half of my property and hear the birds, and it's a great place to hang out and make music. Now, the reason I'm shooting this video today is I would like to sort of signal a somewhat new direction for Shoreline Music, and just encourage you to go check out the stuff that I got going on now. But to do this, I need to share with you a little story. So, some years ago, I was walking through downtown Albuquerque with my older daughter, and we heard this sound, this music, this instrument coming from around the corner, and she turned to me and said, "Dad, we got to go figure out what that is, because it's so amazing. It's something we never heard before." And when we got there, we found this old guy sitting on a street corner playing an instrument whose sound was so inviting and so relaxing. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard. And that instrument was a handpan. If you've never seen one, that's your handpan right there. The guy who was playing looked up at me and he said, "I know that look." He said, "That's the look of, I'm going to own a handpan within 2 months." And his guess was good, but I actually had a handpan in my hands within 2 weeks. I looked nationwide for one that kind of fit what I was hoping to do with the instrument, and I got one from Marshall Daniels, a builder in North Carolina, from Daniels Made Handpans. And that instrument, let me just tell you, this instrument totally reinvigorated my music making like nothing I have done in years and years. It's part of the reason, is one of the main reasons I'm here shooting this video today, is because this instrument changed how I made music more than anything I had done probably in decades. It wasn't just, that I was writing again and playing in front of people again for the first time in years, and jamming with other musicians again for the first time in years. But there's something about this instrument that is so inviting. And you can watch a gazillion YouTube videos of people jamming out on the handpan, and they're amazing. But there's something about the in-person experience. So I have dragged this handpan and one of my others everywhere. I've gone out to the beaches, I've gone out to parks, I've gone to museums, I've dragged it up to the top of mountains, all in San Diego and all through Maine. If you are from San Diego, I'm from there and I spent a lot of time there. I used to go up to Palisade Park. It's in Pacific Beach, down at the end of Law Street, and it's this cliffside park where you can look out over the Pacific Ocean. People love to gather there and watch the sunset. Sometimes I'll do yoga and that sort of thing. And I've dragged my handpans out there and I've played some music. And every single time I was there making music, it drew a crowd. And not because everyone was like, ooh, you know, great musician. They were drawn by the sound of this instrument. And every single time that happened, I would take it and hand it to other people to give it a shot. And here's the amazing part. Every single person who put their hands on a handpan made music with it. It did not matter what their background was. They could have been a musician or a non-musician. It didn't matter. Everyone could make it, and it was the easiest thing just to make beautiful music with something like this. And so I began putting this handpan in the hands of anyone who would take it. And there was a buddy of mine actually who decided I was like a handpan evangelist. He said, John, you are a handpan evangelist. And I think that name kind of stuck. I feel like this is an instrument that can bring so much music to so many people who maybe are afraid to try a new instrument. And so I love the instrument. I'm passionate about it. I shared it with others. And so, of course, the natural next question everyone asks me is, when are you going to become a handpan dealer? And for several years, my answer was, well, I don't know. My mistake. So this year at NAMM, back in January, I connected with a number of handpan builders, called my wife and said, hey, guess what? I'm going to be a handpan dealer. And so this is why the video today. I'm here to announce that Shoreline Music is now a handpan dealer. I think I have 4 builders right now, maybe 5. I'm in conversations with several more. There's definitely more on the way. And I feel like anybody watching this video, if you've never played a handpan, I think you need to give it a shot. It is so inviting and so relaxing and so engaging. And again, I'm a huge fan. Now, the natural next question is, well, what about all the rest? Shoreline has this, decades-long history selling cool gear and instruments online. So a lot of people will ask me, are you going to keep selling guitars? And the answer is, of course, yes, but it's also no. Like, I think gone are the days of a beautiful big showroom, dozens and dozens of instruments hanging on the wall. I don't think that's the direction I'm going to go. Will I have guitars? Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to stick with just a few, I think. I'll probably always have, like, the Larrivee OM40 has been my best-selling guitar for the last 10 years. Probably always have some of those around, and other Larrivees maybe. I'm still friends with John McCory at Northwood Guitars. I love his instruments. I'll probably have those in and out of the shop a bit. I've been in touch with the new leadership at Avalon Guitars in Belfast. Love their instruments. And Lloyd Baggs has come out with a cool new stage guitar. And as you know, if you follow this channel, my main guitar for the last 23 years has been a stage guitar, not like a full-on acoustic. I really, really like his. So I'll keep, a small selection on hand. But once again, gone are the days of walls lined with dozens and dozens and dozens of handmade guitars. Now, you might ask, well, what about all those other builders I've worked with? These guys that I helped put on the map and that I've been friends with and fond of their instruments. And I think what I'd like to do is to keep them around, but indicate that they're like legacy instruments, that they're not instruments I'm currently stocking. And part of that is because, I have this body of work. I have all these photographs and these videos and descriptions and everything else that have led people to be interested and buy those guitars. It costs me nothing to leave those in place. And if you are watching this video and when you get done, you decide, I'm going to go watch Dennis Wakeman playing a Brook guitar, which by the way you should do. In fact, just stop this video right now. Go watch Dennis Wakeman playing a Brook guitar. You'll be much, that's honestly the best way you could spend the next 5 minutes. But if you watch that and that inspires you to call the guys at Brook and order one of their guitars, well, that's a win for everyone. You get a great guitar, they get a happy customer, And I get the joy of knowing that I've put a good instrument in your hands, and I haven't had to do anything. So at least for the foreseeable future, I'm going to keep the content for all those old builders on the site. And if you have questions about them, I'm happy to answer them, but I'm not planning to stock those guitars. You might ask, well, what about the rest? What about all the other gear? And the answer there is most of the gear you've come to know and love from Shoreline, still carrying all of the pickups and preamps, the stage gear, K&K, Sunrise, Tone Decks, or whatever it is. I will definitely still have that. But for the rest of it, I would expect to see a more tightly curated selection. And I think I'm just at the point in my life and in my business where I really only want to focus on the stuff I really love. There was a season there where I felt like I needed to be all things to all people. And so I had all kinds of stuff in the shop that I didn't have my heart behind. So for example, someone would say, hey, what kind of strings should I get? And my answer was always, just get John Pierce strings. They're my favorite strings. They go on all my instruments. Well, if those are my favorite strings and those are my only recommendation, why did I have like 7 or 8 brands of strings? I don't know. So if you go to the site after this, you'll see John Pierce. And then for the people who don't feel like changing their strings very often, I will also offer Elixir strings. But that's going to be it. I'm not going to offer a bunch of everything. I'm really going to focus, zero in on the things I truly love and can truly get behind. I'm also going to tend to expand my interest in recording, because one of the cool things about handpan is how it sounds recorded. And I have struggled with how to get a good sound out of it, but I think I found a couple things that you're going to like. And so I'll have demo videos of the handpans. I'll have demo videos of the microphones in action and all the rest. That is coming up. So that's it. I'm in Maine, selling handpans, selling guitars kind of, selling less but better stuff, I think, of the gear. I hope that you join me on this journey. This is an incredibly fun instrument. It's surprisingly versatile. I have jammed with other handpans. I have jammed with piano. I've composed music for handpan and piano. I've jammed with a guitar. I've jammed with a banjo. That was by far the best instrument my handpan has jammed with. Who knew? Handpan and banjo. Mandolin, I've jammed with an accordion. And it fits in so many spaces and so many settings. It's so easy to make music. It's a great starter instrument. I think everybody should have one. So thanks so much for sticking it out, for enduring this entire video. I'm super excited about the next season for Shoreline Music. I've got some great stuff coming up. And look, if you're ever in Maine, drop a note. I'd love to go get some lobster with you, or go on a hike, or just come over and we'll just play handpans for a while. Thanks again. Thanks for being a fan of Shoreline, and hope to see you soon.